Thoughts become things, fellow adventurers. Mike Dooley, time to do a spiritual tune-up where I answer your questions. Post your questions below on the day of a broadcast under this video on Facebook or Instagram, and it could be my talking point as soon as tomorrow. The great question I have today, which is about 340 now, spiritual tune-ups that I've done. Check out the archives. The great one I have today is, Mike, help. What am I good at? How can I figure out what I can be good at, even when I have no idea? Oh, I have been in your shoes so many times. We so often, using our physical senses alone in this primitive time on earth, mess with not only the cursed hows. How is my dream of abundance, love, and romance going to come to pass? Don't worry about the hows. Divine intelligence knows how. You need to focus on your end result. But as much as we mess with the hows, we mess with the shoulds. What should I do? Should I go here? Should I go there? What would society like? What would mom like? What would my kids be proud of? The more you worry about what you should do, the more desensitized you become to what you want to do. Invariably, because you're of the divine, by the divine, for the divine, you can trust yourself. What do you want to do? Do not think that you're going to emerge as some wild, crazed beast, putting your needs in front of everybody else's, making progress at their expense. Too many people fear human nature. Look around at the world. We got 7-8 billion people here cooperating 99.99999% of the time. How many raging world wars are there right now? Zero. A lot of ugliness, a lot of animosity, but by and large, we get along more than we don't get along. And the evidence is everywhere. International symposiums, cooperation, flights. It's amazing. We're amazing. You're amazing. Trust yourself. Follow your heart. Do what you want to do. Now, I'm going to be a little bit more pointed right now, a little bit more constructive after that warm-up. Okay, so I know many people are in this place. Who am I? Why am I here? What's my special niche? What am I good at? How do I get there? So this is what I'm going to speak to next. All right. Once you are under sail and you tune in, practice day at a time, tuning into your intuitions, you're going to become more and more aligned and more aware of what your heart is telling you. But you got to be in the game. You got to be doing something. It's far better to have a sucky job you hate than to be at home sitting on the couch with a vision board. Now, I don't want you to have a sucky job you hate, but I've got some advice for you if you do. First of all, if you know what you want to do and you're not doing it because you don't know how to connect all those dots, it's too far of a leap, you're scared, you got security. Well, based on your other responsibilities, family and rent, you got to balance that yourself. That's the act of life. Based on all else, what I would suggest you do is quit what you're doing and go do it. Okay? If you know what you want to do and you're not doing it, as you spin all these plates and balance all else, quit what you're doing and go do it. I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers for 6 years. It was an amazing start in the world. I was in my 20s. But every year I hated my life more. I hated what I was doing more. I loved the firm, I loved the profession, but this was not who I was. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for something to come along and save me. Nothing was coming. Finally, I realized at least I knew what I didn't want to do. Although I was doing it, at least I could pry myself from it and just quit. That would force the situation and put me in a situation where ultimately I would have to do something else. So that's exactly what I did. I knew that at least the part of the equation of what I didn't want could be dealt with, making room for perhaps what I did want. And while it was scary, I leapt. I had no job to land on. I ended up selling t-shirts with my brother. My mother joined us. We launched Tut Enterprises, Inc. Today's Tut.com 33 years later. Of course, they're out. It's just me right now. We had an amazing run at of 10 years at tut.com, but I leapt and it freed me to figure it out. Now, if you hate what you do, like I did, and you don't know what to do, okay, that's different than the first one. You knew, if you hate what you do and you are not ready to, okay, let me make this clearer, sorry. If you hate what you do, but it's enough hate that this is not what you're going to tolerate anymore, quit. If you hate what you do and you are totally uncertain that there's anything else out there for you, then keep doing what you're doing, bide some time, and while you're biding that time, do it better. Keep your sucky job, but do it better. Have an amazing attitude. I know that sounds abrasive, but you're in the world where you can be reached. So keep doing what you're doing, but do it better. Show up a little earlier. Stay a little later. Say yes to all of the assignments. Be there with all of your heart. People who hate their job tend to think nobody else knows it. Everybody knows it. Nobody wants anything to do with that person who hates their job. But the person who hates their job yet decides to make the best of it, and they're there with their heart and soul every day, everyone knows who that person is. And everybody wants that person on their team. So if you hate what you do, but you have no idea what else to do, and you do not feel compelled to just take that leap, as I once did with Price Waterhouse, keep doing what you're doing, but do it better. All right. Then, what I'm suggesting here is as you're doing it better and people see this, you will be mastering what's in front of you. And life has this amazing way of lifting you free. Everybody's going to know who you are. Everybody's going to want some of that. You've got the right attitude and a sucky job. You will be given a promotion into a entirely different realm within the same organization, or a customer or a client's going to walk through the door and hire you away, give you an offer. I'm not saying keep doing what you're doing and learn to love it. I'm saying keep doing what you're doing, but do it better so that life will lift you free. That's the point I wanted to make. Master what's before you and you will be set free from that. But the overall biggest lesson, and this is part of my side hustle course that launches in just a week. If you're out there engaged in life, your thing will find you. When I left the corporate world and I ended up doing the t-shirt business, while that wasn't the ultimate life of my dreams, I got closer and closer every single year until I ended up sending out these notes from the universe and doing audio programs. So I'm not saying quit the sucky job and do nothing. If you feel you're at such a point where you've just got to quit or you're going to suffocate, then quit because you know what to do. You know what to do. That's the angle I was looking at before. This is an old teaching point I haven't visited in a long time. But if you don't know what to do, you don't know that it's time to quit. Keep doing what you're doing, but do it better. Okay? I hope that brings some clarity to a really great question that everybody seems to arrive at one way or another, one day or another. But I am doing this 21-day adventure into discovering and monetizing your side hustle, something I've got lots of experience with. So I hope you will consider joining me. The link is below. Swipe up on Instagram, and we'll kick off on July 1. Thanks for being with me today. Sandy, Nancy, Narelle on Facebook, and Ashen Fire and Nigel on Instagram. Everybody have a great day. Hasta pronto. See ya mañana. Thoughts become things.